Hi everyone, welcome to the Let's Talk Footy podcast featuring Toronto High Park Football Club. I'm your host Shaheen, and we've got our co-host as usual, Fiona. Good to see you, Fiona.
Good to see you.
You kind of scared me there a little bit.
Why?
Because you were a tiny bit late, but it's okay. We're not gonna talk
Hey,
about
whatever.
It's all right. It's all right. Today's guests are Mahira Alvares and Justin Johnson. Justin and Mahira have joined our club a while ago, but we'll get to all the details of where they started and why we have them here today. But before I get into all that, I want to give you guys a brief minute to introduce yourselves.
Hi, everyone. My name is Justin. I'm the manager of grassroots at Toronto High Park FC. I did my education at Humber College, Sport Business Management, and I've been with Toronto High Park for about a year now, and I'm looking forward to great things with the club.
Thank you, Justin. Mahira?
Thanks, Shaheen. Thanks, Fiona. Just like Justin, I've been at the club for about a year now. We were actually classmates at our program at Humber, and we've kind of had a similar journey here at High Park. So I currently work as the manager of operations, and just looking forward to the summer season and the ones ahead too.
Nice. So Mahira is the manager of operations at the club and Justin is the manager of grassroots. Before we get into all the technical stuff, there's something, I don't know, I was kind of debating whether I should bring this up, whether I should not bring this up. Mahira knows what's coming. Mahira is a big Man United fan. I think the audience needs to get to know you a little bit, Mahira. So I'm sorry for bringing it up, but not the best of games yesterday, yeah?
Yeah, definitely not. When I was looking at our few questions for the podcast, I was so upset that was question number one. And I was like, we're going to get Shaheen for this later. But yeah, very disappointing game yesterday. I was at the office, so just had it on like my updates, and just sadness after sadness kept coming my way yesterday. But
yesterday, it seems like it's been the story in the past couple of years, no?
That's true. It's been a while since we had anything good going on. I guess last season was not too bad, but this season definitely. I hope all the changes that I'm hearing about coming our way next season, hopefully it's time for a rebuild for good this time around. So let's see, back to the glory days.
I personally think it's going to take a good few years until Man United is back where they used to be, and that's a huge if. I think what you should do is you should do what Fiona has done. Just become a Real Madrid fan. Just do it. It's all nice, good.
No.
You're watching every Real Madrid game, and you're sending me screenshots.
But because I want them to lose, so I have to watch them. Like, I need to see if these teams can beat them, because they need to just be brought down.
Did you learn a lesson though last time when you sent me a screenshot of when Real Madrid was down and then Real Madrid came back?
They came back. Hey, I can't honestly, like, Benzema's having a phenomenal season, and it's like, you know what? I'll let him live in glory, but I still hate them. So
yeah, Shaheen, you're on a good run right now, and I'm sure you're going to talk big. But let's see. We're still, Chelsea was but we'll see.
Chelsea was shaky. That's what Chelsea was.
It was.
Justin, who do you support?
Well, that's to be determined, to be honest. My family, my dad in particular, like really supported Arsenal. So you can imagine how that's going for him.
Yes, Arsenal. That's my dad's team. Like, I grew up on Arsenal.
Same thing. Yeah, I woke up to it every morning on a TV in the weekend. So it's something I've gotten used to. But if there is a better offer out there for a different team,
just not Real Madrid.
Not
Real Madrid. No, maybe Barca. Barca's great. Come join us. Come join us over here.
Maybe. I know Mahira didn't make the most convincing offer for Man United.
Can you blame me right now?
I can't.
No. But Justin's a big Raptors fan, from what I hear. But unfortunately, Raptors aren't doing great either, no?
No, not at all. But we'll see today. They have game
Who are
three
they
today.
playing? Philadelphia?
Yeah, Philadelphia. I think it's game 3 in Toronto. Down 0-2, so not looking too good, but we'll see.
I saw the scoreline in the first game. I don't know what the score was in the second game. Was it as bad?
It was as bad. It was a bit
All right.
similar. Yeah.
All right, let's see. This is the third game is key. Yeah, we'll see. Anyways, all right, let's move on. Good to know. Good to know that everybody's on their way to becoming a Real Madrid fan. The fan base is just growing. Awesome. I'm happy. You guys mentioned that you both studied at Humber College and you were actually classmates. So what I want to tell the audience is that Humber College offers this program, sports management program. And what THPFC, what our club did was we were taking interns, and you guys weren't the only interns. We've had interns in the past, and we're gonna have interns in the future. But you guys started as interns for your programs at Humber College, and then since you guys enjoyed working at Toronto High Park so much, and you decided to become full-time now. So can you guys just tell us a little bit about how that program is at Humber College, and what actually drew you guys to get involved in that program first and foremost, and then we'll get to how you got introduced to the club and all that.
I guess for me and Mahira, we were in sport business management. It was a post-grad program at Humber for those, I guess, looking into the business aspect of sport. That program overall kind of looks at the business of sport overall, such as like the finance aspect, event planning, marketing, sponsorship, pretty much anything that comes with it. And what drew me to that program is I kind of want to get involved in sports pretty much all my life, just trying to find a way to do it, taking different roles, whether it's the marketing side, the sponsorship side, and event planning side. And I guess trying to help the next generation of athletes reach their dream was something that I stuck with. And I believe where I am now with manager of grassroots, I think that's the perfect fit.
Thank you, Justin.
Yeah, similar dream like Justin. Before I did the sport management program at Humber, I was working in the sport industry back in India, where I'm from. So when I moved, I knew I wanted to get a certification here to get my foot in the door in the industry. So that was one of the bigger factors when choosing the program. And of course, the internship was one of the biggest things as part of that drew me to the Humber program.
When you're doing this program at Humber, it's not soccer related, right? It's any sport. So you guys could actually go towards any organization and any sport, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a sport specific industry, is it?
Exactly. So it was for any sport related business. So that was the focus of the program. And we had the opportunity to choose whether it was not for profit, the type of sport, or even just an event company in general. There were a lot of avenues that we could have gone for along with that.
That's amazing. You mentioned you were working in India. You traveled from. So when did you come to Canada, and what were you doing back in India, Mahira? Do you want to elaborate on that a little bit, because I found it very fascinating?
Yeah, sure. So I officially moved to Canada in 2019, but it took me a while to properly move. So eventually it was in 2020. But before that, I used to work in a sport tourism company. So what I mean by that is, like, we used to have different types of clientele, mainly corporates, that we would plan trips to different parts of the world for different sporting tournaments for them. So the company I used to work for, we used to tie up with different sports tournaments like the FIFA World Cup, the Cricket World Cup, Premier League, and
Nice.
set up unique sporting experiences for different groups of people for anything that they liked, So that was mainly the work that I did back home.
That sounds fun.
I mean, Mahira, we've kind of talked about you moving from India to Toronto, and how the culture is so different, and you had so much culture shock when you got here, but what was the biggest difference you saw within football culture?
So I grew up playing field hockey actually back home, and then I started playing soccer maybe right after my undergrad. So that just wanted to give you a perspective of the sporting preferences that I make. The biggest culture shock was just seeing the difference in the grassroots system back home and here. Like what I mean to say is the spending power of people in India is much lesser. So that equals to less access to things like grassroots sports, because your first priority would be many other things in life, such as just basic necessities, trying to get a better education than what is provided for free. So those kind of things, of course. So not saying that it's not growing, it is growing. And we have a huge number of people that love football. The Premier League, I believe their largest fan bases are in India for a lot of the top tier clubs. So there is the want for it, there is the need for it. It's just we have some catching up to do. So when I moved here, the biggest culture change was just seeing the amount of options that kids have, like so many different sports depending on the season of the year, and just so many clubs, so many people wanting good for them. So I feel very grateful and blessed that I'm in this industry here. I'm getting to experience something which I myself didn't have, not much access to when I was growing up. So it's been good.
Yeah, I can completely relate to that. Like back home in Iran, organized sports or the variety of options was not many. I was just actually telling Eden the other day when we were on the field, like I think I played like on a grass field back home like once or twice all my life growing up. Like there was no access to a proper grass field, soccer field. So, and then you come here and you see all these grass fields and people complain about it and all that stuff. Anyways, Justin, you were born and raised in Toronto?
Yeah, lived here all my life. I have a background of Jamaica and Barbados. I haven't been able to go back and see how that was like, but that's something I'm looking forward to in the future.
So you guys were in this program, and then how did you guys get involved with High Park, with the club? Like what was the program that you guys had to take, or the course or the internship? How did it start? And did you have like other options? How did you end up choosing Toronto High Park Football Club?
So we have an internship course where Karen, who is in charge of internships at Humber College, she pretty much sends out opportunities for us to look at, such as Toronto High Park FC and other programs, whether it be different sports. So at the time, to be completely honest, I was looking for something basketball related. And those programs, due to the pandemic, kind of shut down. So I kind of broadened my horizon to maybe soccer, because it was something that I did when I was younger, or maybe football. And Karen sent out a message for, hey, Toronto High Park FC is looking for interns, soccer operations. Is it something that you'd be interested in? And I jumped on it, and I pretty much gave a background on pretty much what I've done at another club, North York Cosmos, and how I've helped out them with the team management, the roster management, and being a volunteer there for maybe the first couple of years of my life. And then Fernando, who's the director of technical operations at the club, reached out to me, said, hey, we're interested in you and we want to offer you this position. And it went from there.
Nice. Shout out to Fernando.
Yeah.
He's really good at that. He's good at attracting good people. Mahira, how about you? Same thing? I'm assuming similar path?
Yeah. After I started playing soccer, I knew I wanted to work very much in that line. So when I saw this, I said it was almost like a no-brainer. So I was like, I tried applying, and lucky enough that I had a good interview with Fernando and Chris Colley, who used to be at the club. So yeah, just like Justin, it was fate.
Once you started, Mahira, as an intern at the club, what were some of the things that you started doing? Like, was it, were you thrown right away into like what you're doing now, or did you have to like learn the way the club operated, and did you have to shadow anybody? How did it work?
So how it happened for me was I had actually come on as an intern for sponsorship, but for whatever reason that did not work out, and I ended up working with Fernando and Justin as intern of soccer operations. So for me, I feel like the experience that I had was a bit more directly related to what I'm doing now because it was in the same department. So we did all the different things that Fernando at that time as a soccer operations manager was doing. So we helped him out with managing all our members in terms of uniforms, their registrations, any kind of issues that they had. Customer service was a big one. And then also I took on a few different projects, special projects that we, even Justin could work on. And we tried to achieve a few of those one step further kind of projects as well as part of our internship. So.
Nice. Justin, you're doing something more different than that though. Your role has changed within the club.
Yeah, it's changed a lot in terms of what I'm doing.
Now you have to be at Central Tech at 7 a.m. with me.
Yeah. Early morning drives, early morning bus rides. I have to get used to it. But yeah, at the time when I was with Fernando doing soccer operations, I think Barb, who was the former manager of grassroots, she was getting brought on at the same time. And we pretty much balanced helping her out on the recreational side and also still helping out on the competitive side of soccer operations and being able to help out in terms of knowing the customer feedback pathway in terms of how to get back to parents, how to reach out to house league players, uniform assignments and stuff like that. I did actually kind of do as an intern, and it did help me out with the job I have now. And it was pretty much a smooth transition when it came to jumping into this role. But it is a bit of a different take on things from when I first initially started the internship.
Yeah, I just want to point out, I admire both of you so much because you guys both work, you're in contact with a big number of members, huge quantity of players and customers. And for example, when we're working, like I can speak for myself, when I'm in the OPDO program, like we have a team or two teams and we have our players and we have our parents, and that's basically it. Like we are in our own little island, whereas like, and I kind of have a taste of what you guys go through with the camps in the summer, but it's only for a short period of time. So the work that you guys do on a daily basis, making sure everything is in control and dealing with the huge number of customers and members, it's pretty admirable. So good stuff. Well done, guys.
Much appreciated.
Yeah. Fiona's applauding.
I am applauding. It's really impressive, honestly. Like I've seen kind of like through other people, like what, how many people they have to deal with. And like, it's a lot. And like they're getting through it. They're doing it. So it's very impressive.
Yeah, we're lucky. We have a lot of kind members, a lot of parents who are, understanding of how massive our club is. So of course the work that comes with it, and also colleagues like you guys who are also, in with it with us. So we all understand each other luckily, and it's been a smooth flowing, team and operation for the past few months, and I'm so happy to say that.
Mahira, can you tell us a little bit about some of your some of the things that you're involved in that are not really like operations and uniform stuff? Like you said, you started with some side projects, and I know you have a few side projects that are extremely important for the club right now. Do you want to just touch on those, because I know you're passionate about one or two of them, and I want us to discuss those, or like the audience can hear you out a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for that.
And I'm pretty sure Fiona has comments, or she wants to hear and speak about it for sure.
For sure. Fiona's been a part of it with me as well. So yeah, this is actually something pretty cool because as part of our internship is where a lot of this stuff actually stemmed from. We have a little segment of the internship called special projects, where, like I said, we could take on things of our interest. And that's actually how we started a few projects during our internship, and it continued throughout our journey here with THPFC. So one of the things that I took on recently is just trying to take on the goal of bettering the gender ratio that we have at the club in terms of players, in terms of our coaches. So a few things that we have done is I've met up with our coaches such as Fiona, Chantel, and a few others to get their inputs and their thoughts and ideas about what we could be doing better. And we've done the same within our team, as you know, not just the women of our team, but also the men, because that's also an equally important element of ensuring that this is a success. So just a few of the things that we're working on is highlighting our junior coach program for our young women at the club that they could pursue, trying to share some opportunities with them about how to become even match officials, and also trying to be a bit more inclusive as a club in terms of maybe our uniforms, trying to ensure we have a few different types of options available for girls who prefer maybe clothing which is a bit more covered. And we're also trying to introduce childcare at our women's house league games, which happen in the evenings, and which is the crucial time for when women have to actually balance that lifestyle of hours out. So Justin actually is very closely involved with me in helping few of these things, take flight, and he's been a great person to work with, and it's been amazing so far, and hopefully within the next few months we see some change.
That's fabulous. Justin, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, Mahira has been really helpful in terms of pushing that program and getting it up and running, and it's pretty much influenced the projects that I'm doing right now. Like, for example, one thing that I'm trying to work on is building that U13-18 recreational group and getting it running, trying to find what gets that age group going, how to keep them involved in soccer, and how to keep them just involved in sport overall. So on the men's side, it's something that I'm looking at, and especially on the women's side too. It's something that we take a look at in terms of what they may want in terms of format, features, anything we can change, anything we can do better. And the plan for this summer is to get a group of players, get their input on what they may want to see different in the house league or in any of the programs involving that age groups, and ways we can cater to their needs. So Mahira has helped in terms of feedback on maybe what we can do differently, what we can add in. And even separate from that, the childcare at women's house league games is something that we plan on adding in, because we know the women who participate in that program are really busy and they do want time from this for themselves, but they do have priorities with their children, their kids, and we want to make sure they're able to balance that lifestyle. So
I love it all. It's all just It's so great. I think I didn't even know about the childcare thing, and like something like that is like what will also draw people to the club and like will make them want to participate in the sport. Because like as we get older, and like as women get older, men get older, whatever, like our priorities change and things change. But if we want to keep these people in sport and keep them within the club, whatever, like you have to offer things that are appealing to them like that. And I think that childcare is like a huge thing that I think like every club should offer something like that. But I'm glad that it's starting here. It's really cool.
I just want to emphasize, like, this is amazing. This is so amazing. But I want to emphasize on the fact that we're not like, we don't take these actions to keep customers at the club. It's the right thing to do. Women that have children that want to participate, that would love to be there but can't, they need help. So it's the right thing to do to create such options or such products that will give options to a bigger variety of people. So I think it's important to mention that it is the thing, like the right thing to do. It has to be like that. And
I was just actually thinking along the same lines. It's just, there's no reason as to why it should not be available to anybody, and if it's a matter of just supporting, that's a part of life. It's natural, and we all got to have each other's back if we want things to get better. So yeah, I just wanted to share that.
Yeah, spot on, 100%. Just one thing that's crossing my mind. Justin, you would know this. So you said U13 to U18. In the house league programs, do we have co-ed? Is it co-ed or no?
We don't, no. Oh,
Yeah,
but it is something.
Yeah, because I would think that could be an option, because players that are involved in the house league program sometimes just want to be there to be there with their friends. Because I remember, like, there was a period in my life when I was towards the end of my high school, and my friends were saying, "Oh, let's join a co-ed house league program and just run a game every week and be together." So I feel like that could be something. But obviously, you're the expert. But is that something that's been
Yeah,
discussed at all?
yeah, definitely. And it's actually something that me and the intern that's working on me right now, Mahima, talked about yesterday in terms of maybe combining the U15, 18 boys, U15, 18 girls, making that program bigger and just having a co-ed program and just getting it running. We will have no problems with the numbers and everyone gets to play. So working around that, but also to your point on how to improve it and maybe cater to that age group, it is something we take in mind with them being older and not really 8, 9, 10 years old. So maybe at that age, they don't really, the different colored jerseys and the shorts may not matter to them as much. They just want a place where they can go and play soccer. So taking that into account and trying to rework that program for both the men and the women, whether they're playing together, boys and girls, it's something that all options have been looked at in terms of trying to get it running.
Is there anything else that you guys are currently doing or you did through your internship programs that maybe I'm not aware of, or maybe you think that could be important for the audience, for the listeners to hear that I'm missing out?
Well, there is two things that is one's going to actually be launching this summer. So the women's pickup league is starting up this summer for women who are 45 and up. So to add on to Mahira's points, it's a program where women who are 45 and up maybe don't want to play with the 19-year-old who is that ambitious about soccer and they just want to have a casual setting where they can play drop-in soccer. We want to make that available to them. And even as maybe not just a strictly soccer program, but also a social program where they can meet new friends, get together and just meet new people. And that's something that we're also going to be doing on the men's side, but with the 60 plus group. So it will be more so walking soccer for them to, same thing, join a casual setting, meet new people, and just work with people who are their age. So that's something that's in the works right now for the women's pickup program that's guaranteed up and running for the summer. And yeah, looking forward to see how that goes.
What if you have a Cristiano Ronaldo at the age of 60? Would you promote them to our competitive? Why are you shaking your head, Fiona?
Why not?
Dude, the man is jacked. Like, imagine like someone like Cristiano Ronaldo at 60 years old. Like, there's no way he's not gonna stop going.
That's what
Like,
I'm saying. There's a lot of 60-year-olds. So that was a joke, but there's a lot of
I know,
60-year-olds.
but I'm just
I don't
saying,
want us to think like, oh, a 60-year-old is just playing walking soccer. I know
Yeah.
60-year-olds that are very active, very fit, men or women. So it's just good to mention. Mahir, were you about to say something or no?
No, I was just about to make a Wayne Rooney reference. Even he's kind of envious of Cristiano Ronaldo's form at the moment. He went on Sky Sports and he said it. He apologized to him for saying some stuff too. So we all feel that for sure.
And Shaheen, to even add on to that point for the house league, when it comes to when we're looking at skill levels, I think the one misconception of house league is that it's only for beginners and people who've never played the sport before or learning the sport. A couple of weeks ago, someone emailed me saying their daughter used to be in OPDL. They took a break off because of the pandemic and they want to get back into soccer. And they asked me if there's room in house league. And for house league, it's for anyone who's open to soccer overall, not just someone who's learning, not just someone who maybe played a couple times, but for all skill levels, it's a casual setting. And the main terminology is house league is in-house for people with the club. So that's something I've been looking at in terms of expanding that program and maybe getting all players in. So we're not just excluding it or to a certain skill level or a certain group.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm glad you point that out. It's a great point. Mahir, I'm gonna move on to you again. You also do the club's marketing, so you're in charge of that, and I think that's such a big piece now. And I feel like we have to mention the great work you're doing in terms of the club's marketing. And I just want to thank you first and foremost, but also, is there anything you want to mention in terms of that, in terms of your role at the club with marketing? Or
Yeah. Just wanted to say that our Friday catch-ups, whenever we're releasing the podcast, those mornings are always super fun. I always have a good time. But yeah, like you said, it's just based on everything Justin shared with us. We have so many different things going on at the club, so many good things that good people are doing here. So I feel ensuring that this is pushed out in the right way, communicated to our members on a regular basis, is such an important factor, especially in a community sport organization. So it's been really fun getting my skills a bit better in terms of just designing, and also thinking of different ways in which we can promote a certain program that we're offering, or how do we market it to the right target type of people that we're looking for during that program. So a few of those things have been really interesting. I feel of late we've had a lot of people start posting their own personal content that they are experiencing with the club. So it's been really cool, getting to look at that, sharing those stories, interacting with those people, our members actually on our social platforms. So also our LinkedIn is doing well. It's a great platform for when we're posting our jobs, and even our internship program has just been gone live for the summer season, and that's also been doing pretty good. So yeah, it's been definitely a great learning experience, and I'm glad I'm able to contribute in that way as well.
yeah, so, and our social media is Instagram, wherever, Facebook, Twitter, what else?
And LinkedIn right now.
LinkedIn, exactly. And so maybe when I post this online, I can put the links to those. It's in the comments section below. I always want to say that. Comment section below. If you haven't, go follow us on Instagram at THPFC, right? And what's our Twitter handle?
It's all of them are the same.
They're all THPFC. So if you don't follow us, please go give us a follow, because you'll be up to date with everything that's happening at the club.
Mahira, I actually do want to ask you, because when I first met you, you were an intern, I think, but you were also kind of taking on the coaching role. So you were assisting Mark with our U21 girls, kind of helping out around the club. But where did you make the decision that you were like, you didn't really want to be on field as much and you wanted to work kind of in the office?
Yeah, it's been great, getting the opportunity to coach you and the rest of the team, like over the winter time. Yeah, so at that moment I was intern. I was just switching into a part-time role through Canada Summer Jobs at that moment. And that's when I got my coaching certification. And I did want to work with any of the girls or women's teams that we had at the club, just, to do my bit in helping out. And it was going great. But towards the end of the winter, just before the Christmas holidays, I got injured pretty badly during one of our sessions. And it's been a recurring injury of my ankle. It was pretty sad. And I'm yet to, get back into the level of fitness that I do want to be at before I start coaching again. So that's really why I took a small break. And also just, I'm waiting for a few months of the summer to pass, because right now is when most of our work in terms of operations is being done, because we do have to prep for the summertime. So once that's done, I am very hopeful of getting back into it. So it's just a little break, not really a goodbye.
Good. Very, very smart decision, I personally think. And please do your physio. I'm speaking from experience. I had a pretty bad ankle injury and it wasn't diagnosed properly. And I played on it for a full season. And now I have 8 screws in my ankle and foot. So yeah, don't make that face.
No, because I'm like I'm right now currently I'm like coming off of an ankle injury, and I just like sprained it and then re-sprained it again on my first game back, and I was like, oh no, this is not good. I'm really trying to take my time.
Ankle injuries are so common, obviously, in soccer, and it's so important to make sure you take care of them and you do your rehab and physio properly. Like, I am a perfect example of it. Mahira is touching on it, you're touching on it. And if any of our players are listening right now, if you have any injury, not just ankle, please just make sure you listen to the experts, to your physio. Don't diagnose yourself, but maybe even go to more than one doctor or physio, go to two to just make sure you have the right diagnosis, and also do the rehab and physio properly. It's so important. Otherwise, it comes back at one point and it just gets worse and worse over time. So, what about you, Justin? Have you had any injuries that you want to talk about?
Not that bad. No, not to the
Awesome.
8 screws point. So,
Nobody has that. No, I'm joking.
no. The worst thing was honestly stitches on my hand. I think I cut it open when I grabbed something really sharp, but to the point where it's like 8 screws and that, no. I did have to take physio in terms of just making a fist and trying to be able to get my hand back to where it was before. But yeah, it's all good now.
To be able to throw the ball.
Yeah, I couldn't shoot for like
you
3
like
months.
that technique, Justin? Come on.
Elbows up.
Here, like that.
Perfect.
Oh.
You got it.
There we go. All right, now I can consider myself a basketball player. Maybe Justin, you and I can go. You guys can come too if you want to play some ball one day. That'd be fun.
Hey.
Yeah.
Why not?
No, this is great, guys. This is great. Lots of good chat, lots of informative discussions, and thank you guys for being on the podcast. Thanks for accepting to come on. It's my pleasure. And if you guys have anything else to say, I always say this to everybody. I'm all ears. I want you guys to, if there's anything important that you want to get it out there. This is one of the reasons why I originally started the podcast. I want to help as much as I can. So if you have anything, I'm all ears. If not, thank you so much.
Thanks, Shaheen. This was great. I was a bit worried about it, but it went so smoothly. You and Fiona both make us feel, at least me, I'm sure Justin feels the same, but I felt super comfortable, happy to share, and thanks for making it, so just so nice.
Yeah, thanks again, Shaheen, Fiona, for having us. It was a pleasure doing the podcast. I did have my worries as well. But yeah, you guys made it super simple, super easy. And yeah, maybe we can jump on another podcast another time. Looking forward to it.
I would love to. All right. Thank you everyone for listening. Please share the podcast, like, subscribe, all that cool stuff if you already haven't done so. And we'll catch you next time. Take care.